How did humans appear on Earth? Today, our species dominates the planet. We build cities, explore space, and transform the world around us. But our story began millions of years ago, in a very different world. To understand where we came from, we must travel back to Africa, where the earliest chapters of human evolution unfolded. Around 6 to 7 million years ago, some ancient primates began to develop characteristics that would eventually distinguish the human lineage from our closest living relatives. These early hominins were not human in the modern sense. They were small-brained creatures, adapted to environments that were changing dramatically. One of the most important changes was the ability to walk on two legs. Bipedalism allowed our ancestors to move efficiently across open landscapes, while freeing their hands for carrying food, using objects, and eventually making tools. Millions of years later, another remarkable transformation began. The brains of some human ancestors became larger and more complex. Species such as Homo habilis are associated with some of the earliest known stone tools. Later came Homo erectus, a species that was remarkably successful and survived for more than 1 million years. Homo erectus had a body much closer to our own. It could walk long distances, use increasingly sophisticated tools, and may have controlled fire. Fire changed everything. It provided warmth and protection, but it also allowed our ancestors to cook food. Cooking made food easier to digest and provided more accessible energy, potentially supporting the development of larger brains. But human evolution was never a straight line. Different human species appeared, lived alongside one another, and eventually disappeared. Neanderthals lived across Europe and parts of Asia. Other human relatives inhabited different regions of the ancient world. And somewhere in Africa, around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged. Our species was not suddenly born with everything that makes us human. Language, complex cooperation, symbolic thinking, art, and advanced technology developed through a long and complicated process. Over time, Homo sapiens began moving beyond Africa. Around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, major migrations carried groups of modern humans into different parts of the world. As they spread, they encountered unfamiliar environments, deserts, forests, mountains, and icy landscapes. They also encountered other human species. And these encounters were not always violent. Modern humans interbred with Neanderthals and other ancient human populations. As a result, traces of these ancient encounters remain in the DNA of many people alive today. Eventually, Homo sapiens became the only surviving human species. But the question of human origins is still not completely solved. Every fossil, every ancient tool, and every fragment of DNA gives scientists another piece of the puzzle. We know that our story was shaped by millions of years of evolution. But exactly how consciousness, language, culture, and human intelligence emerged remains one of science's greatest mysteries. We are the result of an extraordinary journey, one that began millions of years ago, long before the first human ever looked at the stars. And perhaps the most fascinating question is not only where humanity came from, but where humanity is going next.